One. Yo, 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 welcome everybody to the Musubi and Me show. It's your boy Musubi coming at you, and
As always, Glizzy Frank, let's do this thing, man. It's your favorite little meaty morsels. We about to jump into it today.
hola, hola, hola.
Oh,
Feliz
Cinco
Cinco
de
de Mayo.
Mayo.
Ayo.
Oh,
Um,
man. I should have had a sombrero hat prepared for today.
oh, yeah. Oh, I do have something prepared, kind of. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah. See, my
Oh,
Mexican luchadora. Ay, 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 ay.
is that
Oh,
what that's
speaking
supposed
of,
to be? I think that's a samurai.
oh, yeah, it is samurai. Well, today it's a today it's a luchadora.
Yeah.
And speaking of luchadora, I heard it was when Rey Mysterio got unmasked. That was
Was on
super
Cinco de Mayo?
disrespectful. I don't think it was on Cinco de Mayo. That would have been hella
Oh,
fucked up.
yeah.
But it's the ultimate sign of disrespect to unmask a luchadora.
Right. A luchador.
Eh, yeah, I guess a
Yeah.
luchadora is a girl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which ironically, you don't really see like a lot of, or maybe I'm just like not seeking it out, but I've never seen like a luchadora. I don't think.
Me neither. To tell you the truth.
Now I kind of want to see like, is that even like a thing?
Yeah,
Luchadora.
I feel like it has to be.
Oh, what? They cut. Wow. You know what though? It's like here. I gotta pull this up real quick.
Yeah.
So it's giving me like S&M vibes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because they're like
Like
sexy with
like
a mask on.
BDM kind of, yeah. And look at like
She'll
look at this one.
she'll pin you. Yeah, it's like the whatever they are.
Yeah.
The where they fucking
If you're getting pegged, it's 100% somebody like this.
yeah. That's how I know people are different. Like I don't know if I could ever get into like BDSM stuff. Like that shit
Yeah.
is. I mean, I'll never knock anyone's hobbies except for yeah, I'm knocking this hobby right now because that shit is fucking scary. Like I don't think I could get a boner like if like if they're like dressed in leather and shit like that.
Yo, but we were talking about that like yesterday, right? So we went out, we had I'd say a couple of drinks, but it
Couple
was,
cocktails.
yeah, more than I've been counting my cocktails on hands lately. And
Yeah.
so like, like I kind of say like, okay, today's going to be a one hand kind of day, you
Yesterday was
know?
definitely two hands. I
It
think
was a two hands.
we had at least seven. I feel like
At least seven, but then I had two at Four Seasons and then one before you got to the Mexican joint as well.
oh, you might have had a three hander.
So no, I think it was a two hander. I think it was
Okay.
actually, I mean, if you want to talk about beers are kind of getting ridiculous, like the
Yeah.
IPAs.
Yeah, you had one that was what? It was 10% alcohol.
It was like 10% and it was a fucking tall boy. Like,
So that's like four right there, technically.
yeah. So like I was over there. All right. So I started off with two mezcalritas, and then I switched over to a margarita, and then I had a mezcalrita when you got there because you ordered a mezcalrita.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we went and we're like, oh, we like to move our feet, even though we don't have feet, we like to move our feet.
Yeah.
So we went over to this other place. It was like a craft brewery spot. And I was like, all right, I'm going to scale it back right now and just kind of have a beer, like have a little, like, chill out a little bit. And yeah, dude, that ended up being fucking way harder than like, I might
It
as
was
well
like
have
a
just stuck
bottle
with
of wine.
margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I know. And you got to me too. I ordered a Jameson ginger and you're like, we're at a craft beer place. And I'm like, I
Well,
guess.
no, 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 no. I said I was going to follow you,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like I was like, oh, I'll kind of do like whatever you do. And then you were like, Jameson ginger. And I was like, I've been drinking a lot of mezcal, dude. I don't know if I want to fucking take that, go down that route, mix them. I feel like with liquor, it's just better if you kind of just stick with the one liquor.
Yeah. For the night.
Yeah, exactly. You jump around quite a bit. And there are obviously like certain liquors that I do better with. I do really good with tequila. I do really, really good with vodka. I do really, really well with uh, whiskey, but not
Yeah.
ryes. I do well with like Irish whiskeys.
Yeah. That's true.
But then like a rye will fuck me up. Like I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Scotch. I
It's
can drink
def-
scotch.
it's definitely, yeah, smarter to get black guy wasted than white guy wasted. I feel
Yeah.
like black guy wasted, you're just drinking
What?
the
Yeah.
same
What?
drink. And then
Okay.
white guy wasted, you just drink what's in front of you.
Yeah. You're like Jaeger, Red
I'll
Bull.
have I'll have one of those. Yep.
Have you ever had Goldschlager and Rumpelmints? Like
Rumplemint. Yeah, I've had Goldschlager before.
I used to carry
Uh,
around a bottle of Goldschlager, like at parties and stuff.
that guy.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like classy at the time and
It's
trashy to look back
it's not.
at.
It's not. You think it's classy, right?
Yeah,
Like you at the
that's
time because you're like it has gold flakes that actually cut little nicks in your throat, and so the alcohol gets into your bloodstream faster, which is fucking bullshit.
yeah, right.
But at the time, you say that shit.
It's like, yeah, the gold would be worth more than the fucking like alcohol. You're like, you're just wasting money. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you know you're in your 20s is fucking pounding Goldschlager.
yeah. And Rumplemint is like I used to call it the bartender's breath mint because I was like, I guess if you were gonna like go into work, like Rumplemints would be the one to take because then it's like your breath just smells like you had Mentos or something.
That's funny because another bartender told me that too. Yeah, they could drink it. And they had a mask on too, so they could drink it, and then their own breath smelled good, and everyone thought they just had fucking breath mints. I
What
mean,
do you mean they had a mask on?
because it was like COVID, like a COVID mask, not like a luchador mask.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, this shit right here, man, is like automatic blackout,
Well,
right? Like I don't think
yeah,
I've
that's
ever
good sauce.
had. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had like one. You never have like one Rumplemints, right?
No.
It's always like I don't know,
Oh,
probably like
we
three,
used
four, maybe
to
five.
back in our younger days when we used to watch the fucking football games at 7 in the morning at the bar.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Rumplemints would be a shot of choice, and
That's where it happened because it seems like a good idea in the morning.
and then you just be fucking three sheets to the wind at like by like 9 o'clock.
Yeah. All right. So I'll tell you this story. I don't think you were there for this. No, you weren't there. But you remember the varsity?
Yes, I remember the
Eh,
varsity
Yeah.
dearly.
All right. So the varsity is like a college bar that like we all kind of used to go to frequent. Um, and so we knew like all the workers in there and everything like that. And then at one point they like had sold the varsity, but then they were going to open up a new bar. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and
And
they
they
never
kind of just
opened it
like
up. Yeah,
no, they did. They did. Yeah. So they basically like they went in, they like cleaned all the lines and everything like that. And they like basically just kind of did a bunch of like woodworking. They made a bunch of like picnic tables and stuff like that.
yeah,
And so they did all that. And then they're like, it was like, I think it was the first day of football. It might have been like the first week of football. And then they were like, yeah, we're opening, but It's just food.
Oh, BYOB. They had, was that the
BYO.
one that had? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, dude. So like I went there and they're like, yeah, it's BYOB. And I was like, oh. So like they're like, yeah, just go across the street and like grab whatever beer you want and bring it back over. And then like you can order food and stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I don't know why I did this, but I was like, do you guys have like like soft drinks and stuff? Can you do like, like soda and stuff? They're like, yeah, we have that. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I walked across the street and then I decided to get a handle of vodka.
Yeah.
And so I get a handle of vodka and I bring it back and then I like start calling people. I'm like, yo, like it's BYOB, like at, the varsity. And I was like, yeah, come down. It's going to be sick. And so like my friends come down and I remember like one of my friends comes down and I was like, yeah, dude, it says BYOB. I have this handle of vodka. I was like, just go like across the street and get like a case of beer or something. He comes back, another handle of vodka.
Jesus.
Right. And then like the other, like every single person, that was the move. That's what they did.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shit. Hold on. Just 1 second. I got a call from Boba T, and just 1 sec.
yeah, take it.
Hello? Yeah, I am doing my show. You're live. What's up? Where's that at? Where in the office? All right. So I am grabbing a picture of the legal document. Where in the
Well, this is awkward. Hope you all are having a good time out here today.
Okay, I see it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
A little display. Boba T has got a little issue going on right there. So, when you have family issues, it's always weird and awkward. And she's handling it like a champ. So
There you go.
we're just gonna settle this live on the air. Sorry for the thousands of people listening at home, but it is what it
Is what it is. There you go. We all got it,
is.
man. We all got family issues. It's always fun. Yeah.
Right? So there's always one person I feel like in the family that is just a pain in the ass. Right?
There has to be,
Freaking
yeah, just super hard to deal with kind of thing.
yeah, super hard to deal with. Every family has at least one gay person and one pain in the ass person. Sometimes they're the same
Sometimes
person, but
sometimes it's
sometimes they're
the same
not.
person. I was gonna say, my brother, man. Frankfurt. My brother Frankfurt's kind of like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, Frankfurt, Vienna sausage.
yeah, exactly. Vienna sausage. That's right. We'll call them Vienna sausages because nobody really likes Vienna sausage. But every
No,
now
it's
and
just
again for breakfast, if it's there, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. We have Vienna sausage in our hurricane stash, which I don't really think that you really need a hurricane stash, but
Yeah.
we got it just in case. We got some top ramen in there. We got Vienna sausage. Sometimes you can mix it, but I have never been drunk enough or high enough where I just been like, I'm gonna have some Vienna sausage right now, and that sounds delicious.
The ramen. I would go for the ramen,
The
but
ramen is still good. Like
yeah.
freaking, I love ramen. Like to this day, it got me through
College.
college. That was it. That was the college food. You always had ramen because your dorm room, or at least our dorm room, would have only a microwave. So have
Yeah.
ramen and then Easy Mac. Like
Easy,
I
yeah,
can't
but
eat.
Easy Mac isn't really like, you're not really like seeking out Easy Mac. You know what I mean? Like ramen just seems a little bit more doable, I feel like.
Oh, hands down, ramen over Easy Mac any day. And
Yeah.
then like you could even like just I would did you ever do this? Crunch up the ramen and then put the flavoring in there, a little
Uh-huh.
tapatio, and then just eat it
Ooh.
dry. And it's
No,
just
I
like a
didn't.
nice little snack.
No, I know like a lot of people like liked to eat top ramen like dry. I was like never really like that person though. I was always like, dude, like, yeah, I would rather just boil it and have the noodles. Um, but one thing I always kind of did though, like I did this a couple of times, is like I would actually make the ramen noodles and then I would take them out and I would fry them and then I would eat it. So it's almost like like fried noodles rather than ramen. Uh oh, I lost you. Technical difficulties. Apologies, all. Let's see if we can get Musubi back in here. Question is, can he still hear me? Right. Man, I feel like I'm kind of just doing like a solo show today, y'all. Over here talking about top ramen. I can't talk about top ramen by myself. Like, who am I going to back this with? Hopefully, get this thing sorted out for you all. Oh, he's
Hello,
back.
hello. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Jesus Christ. Little technical difficulties. This is this is a show about overcoming obstacles, and we're getting a little, when there's a couple obstacles in your road, you could either let them take over you, or you could take over them, and we're knocking down these obstacles with our nuts.
One by one, man.
But yeah,
One.
speaking of ramen, yeah, what are you have a favorite flavor? I think I like the chicken one the best.
Yeah, the chicken one's definitely a staple. But you know what? They used to have like this other kind of ramen that was like I started so ramen kind of connoisseur, right? Like at this point, like it's like when you're in college, you kind of like I survived off of like ramen and chicken wings from Costco, peanut butter toast. Those were probably like the
Oh,
staple. Those are the staple foods. But there was one like it came in like a blue bowl. This guy. Do you ever fuck with this guy? You see that? The bowl noodles? Oh man, we lost him again. Gone again. Musubi. I mean, he did say overcoming obstacles, right? So, boy, gotta go do it. Yeah. So I think he's just having some mic issues. Is what it is. That's what happens when we kind of do these virtual shows. Oh, and he's back.
yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just my mic is fucking acting weird today. Sorry about that, guys, but it is what it is. I'll have it properly set up for the next time. But when you're going virtual and it's still kind of new, obstacles get thrown into you. But
That's
you can
exactly
be
what I said, man. I kind of said the same thing. I was
yep.
like, the boy did
A
say he was going to handle these obstacles one by one, but
little
anyway,
foreshadowing. But
yeah,
no, so Jesus Christ. But okay, we're back. We're back. We're back.
yep.
But we did talk about some topics that we were going to talk about today.
Uh huh.
Um, the first off was hockey,
Yes.
and we are definitely on the wrong side of America to be like super into hockey. We were talking
Yeah.
about we learned 90% of our hockey from the Mighty Ducks and Gordon Bombay
Hmm.
and
The Miracle Man of
Charlie,
Minnesota.
the Minnesota Miracle Man.
Yeah,
I would say my favorite Mighty Ducks was D2,
for sure. Yeah,
like hands down.
yeah,
Like the first one, Gordon Bombay was a little creepy, like fucking sleeping with like the his kids, like mom. Uh, the second one though
Char-
just had everything.
Charlie's mom, right?
Charlie's mom, yeah,
Yeah, but then didn't he have like a thing with like the Iceland coach in the
he
second
did,
one? So
he
he
did.
just
You're
like
right.
ditched Charlie's mom, and Charlie was okay with it.
Yeah, and he still like looked up to him. Yeah, what the
Yeah,
fuck? He was a player, you
yeah.
know.
The
All these.
funniest thing I've seen it like I don't remember seeing it when I was a kid, but apparently there's like a part where um, Banks is cheering himself score a goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That is such a Banksy move. That cocky little shit.
I know, man.
Like
Yeah, but you know what? He could do it all. He could do it all. So
he could. In the third one, he was the only one that got moved up to varsity. He was a
right.
stud.
And the third one kind of fucking sucked for those of you who did see
Yeah,
it. I mean, it was
what a disappointment. Like it's like they
yeah,
take on the world and then the next thing they do is take on a fucking high school varsity team.
right.
Like
Yeah. And they're like, we're all gonna go to the same school. You're like, I
that's
was
not
like, aren't you
realistic.
guys? Yeah, I was like, aren't you guys all like from different places? Like, what's going on here?
Right? But
Yeah,
I guess they all had to be American because they were all for Team USA, even though they
true.
were. It was a very ethnically like diverse set of people that came. Like there is Luis Mendoza,
Yeah, he
who
couldn't stop.
was that was during his Daisy or Disney heyday. He was also Benny the Jet Rodriguez in probably one of the greatest films ever made, The Sandlot.
So
Uh,
he was literally just fast in every movie then.
yeah, they're like, let's just make the Mexican guy hella fast.
Yeah, they're like, he looks fast. Do you want to play this
Yeah,
fast, bro?
they had Kenny Wu.
Kenny Wu.
Um,
Yeah.
they had Goldberg, who sadly in real life became like a meth addict. And try to look up Goldberg, like addicted to meth or something like that. I think he's better
Oh,
now, but
yeah.
he looked like shit. You know, I saw another
Oh,
video of one of the guys, the catcher from The Sandlot. That guy just looks like an older version. Exactly. I mean, I guess they all do. Look
oh,
like an older
whoa.
version of himself. Yeah. Look at
Dude,
that shit, bro.
hard times, bro.
That just go.
Sheesh.
That's like the child star syndrome, and he wasn't even that famous.
Right. Well, yeah, but he was also in heavyweights, right? He was like kind of like the
Oh
main one of the main
yeah,
roles in heavyweights.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess he had his time. He had his day. Like
he
fucking.
did. Yeah.
He was. I like that was a good movie. Heavyweights.
Hmm. Yeah, dude, that was a great movie, man. Ben Stiller actually did some like killer movies, honestly. You like look at his like
Like yeah,
Zoolander.
Zoolander, Dodgeball.
Yeah, but like heavyweights was like kind of before
Yeah,
any of those, right?
before you knew who he was. Like
Right. Yeah, it was kind of like, who is this guy? But it's actually kind of one of his better roles.
oh, it is definitely hands down. Like you fucking like hated that guy.
Yeah, yeah. You hated him, but like now I love him. Like I'm feeling skinny, Tony. Me too, Lars. Me too. Just rolling around the slide board,
Yeah,
going
he
on
was fun.
runs and freaking like you remember he would like go on these like nature runs and he just like, oh, this log's coming with me.
Yeah, and then he like fucking was doing like the balancing shit on that tree that was like fucking over the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually like I said, a really good role, I think, for him.
That makes me kind of
Um,
want to watch that movie again,
we should. I think we should definitely like watch it back. There's
dude.
definitely some like good stuff in there.
Yeah. Did I tell you that they're gonna have a R-rated Ninja Turtles movie, The Last Ronin?
No. What is
I
that?
need to read. So The Last Ronin is it was like it's a graphic novel that
Mhm.
I never really read comic books, but I'm gonna read this one, and it's about like Splinter and all the turtles die, and spoiler alert, the last Ronin is Michelangelo, and he fucking avenges like all their deaths and stuff. So it's hella like adult and dark and shit. And they're gonna make like a
Oh,
R rated movie supposedly um, of that. And if they do it right, that's gonna be badass. Like I could see him like fucking it up, but I could see it being like hella cool.
that'd be super sick. Because like Michelangelo was always like the fun going, like whatever, but now it's like all of a sudden it's like he has all these demons. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? And
that's what
he's
it's
like,
gonna be like. Yeah.
dude, that's
So
sick. Yeah, I'm about that for sure.
I'm super excited about that. Like they have like the I saw like a movie poster, but I don't know if it was like a real one or like a fan made one. But it's like Michelangelo, and he has like on his like shell, he has like all the weapons. Like
Yeah.
he has like the swords and the sai and all that, and his nunchucks. Like
Sheesh.
you know what the thing about Ninja Turtles though? Like Leonardo didn't never stabbed one person with the sword. He'd always like hit him with like the fucking handles and like shit like
Yeah,
that. It's
dude. It
like,
was
bro, you
like
got swords, just like chop these people in half.
that's what it's for, right? Like, yeah, not once did you like cut somebody's arm off, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, at least make it a little bit realistic.
Yeah, and like the size too, right? Like the size should have been like,
Yeah. It's like, why
I
even
don't
have
know.
those weapons? They're just like inhibiting you, like if you can't fucking use them.
Totally. Yeah.
You
And
know what
like the
was
other
one of
ones
the
too, like I would have been pissed too. It was like, you're gonna give me a fucking bow? Like, can I put some blades on the end of it or something? Like, what the fuck?
yeah, right? It's like
Yeah.
this motherfucking turtle has two swords and you just give me a fucking stick.
Yeah. It was like, you could give me the other sword. You gave him fucking two.
Yeah, you're not using them. Like you're not stabbing anybody. Give me a
Hmm.
fucking sword.
Yeah. I'm saying, man.
And
Shit.
like nunchucks, I don't see how nunchucks. I've never seen like a thing where like people are using nunchucks, and I'm like, oh man. I mean, they look cool. They look hella cool, like spinning around and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't seem like they're like effective weapons. You know, like
No.
fucking.
I feel like
Seems
I
like
would
they're
hit
gonna come back.
myself.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would hit myself more than I would hit other people, I think.
and if you like swing them and like hit, there's gonna be yeah like recoil, and then you're gonna hit yourself.
Right. Yeah. But
You just gotta do.
they do look fun. And honestly, like I had like some of those like little padded nunchucks just to fuck around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we all did. Like fucking,
Yeah.
they're the coolest weapon as a kid to like pretend,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you ain't doing any like damage or anything like that. Like if
Nah.
you're fighting a guy with a sword with like nunchucks, like
I'm
come on,
not. I'm
bro.
not. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not fighting at all, dude. I'm like,
yeah, you're running away. You're running the other
yeah. You're
direction.
like, wow. You know, like you
You're
really elevated
throwing,
this
yeah,
game.
you're throwing the nunchucks and running the opposite way. Like
Yeah.
get the foot.
I think that would be the move. Is like you just throw the nunchucks like at the person and hope that they drop one of the swords.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like Jesus Christ. But yeah, that looks like a cool movie, The Last Ronin, and that will be the next comic book that I read, and the first one. It only took me uh, so 37 years. So one of Boba T's nieces today on the beach, she was like, "Hey, how old are you?" And I was like 37, and she's in
Yeah.
like fourth grade, and she was like, "God damn!" I was like, "You fucking bitch!" But it was hella funny though.
Yeah. Kids, man, you gotta love kids because they like literally just like tell it like it is, you know?
Yeah, no filter at all.
Zero filter. Yeah, we got a little echo going on here, yeah?
Yeah, hold on, my fucking bro, my shit. This is
Hmm.
crazy.
Oh, there you go. He's back.
I'm back. I'm back. For some reason, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. I just hear myself echoing.
Yeah. So let me. It's just my headphones.
Mm.
Can you hear me now? Oh, holy shit.
Oh, there you go. Now you're
You
back.
should be able.
Yeah, I can hear you. You
So
can't hear me
there's a
though.
restart. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Better.
there
Now.
you
Now
go.
you're in my headphones. Fuck. There's
Okay.
a. Okay. Shit. Jesus Christ. There's an update on my computer that fucked up the supposedly now the Bluetooth on my computer. There's like a fucking update. What timing, right? But
Yeah.
we're just gonna power through. We're gonna
You know,
check
you
this one
kind of
off.
set
Yeah,
yourself up. You set yourself up for that, man, because you were literally like, you run into obstacles, and what do, man? You just got to go through them one by one. And now we've had like five. We're like, whoa, okay.
I did. Yeah,
This
I
is some
mean, my
fucking
girlfriend's family
Nostradamus.
calls me Jesus, but I didn't think I would foreshadow that shit. They didn't call me Jesus because I'm actually Jesus. They just called me Jesus because I'm white with a beard. But
Fits
yeah,
the profile. How are you with
it does.
woodworking?
Hit or miss. I hit or miss. I'm more
That being said, you never saw like nobody's ever like, yeah, you see this chair? Jesus made this chair, right?
right.
Like
They don't show any of his work. Like for all we
no,
know,
they
he was
said
like a
he's
bum.
yeah. I was like, you're a shitty carpenter, bro, because not once do people talk about your work, right?
Yeah, they're never like, yeah. Like, did he have a shop? Did he go like fix people's stuff? No,
Yeah.
he just like you would have thought he would have made a better fucking crown of thorns, like with his woodworking skills.
Right.
But
Yeah. Or it's like I guess for the sake of the story, I'm just gonna like start telling people like it's like, yeah, like the 12 disciples, the Last Supper, he built that table. I'm just gonna roll with it.
I wonder how much we could spread that. Well, probably not very far, but it would definitely be worth a try because Jesus gets no credit for his carpenter skills, which I guess he shouldn't because there's no pieces that notable pieces. Like if he
Yeah, I
was
mean,
if he was a son of God, you think he would like be like the best carpenter in fucking Jerusalem or whatever.
oh, that's so funny, man. I just typed in Jesus furniture to see what would come up. It's like it's actually not as funny as I thought it was gonna be, but there's like this epic
Him
chair.
like peeking out. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I would feel a little gay sitting on that.
I mean, you're sitting on his dick 100%,
Yeah.
right?
That would be hella funny if there's just like a little bump.
Jesus, he's packing, bro. Totally. Gotta
So
be.
was Jesus supposed to be a virgin or no?
I
Like
don't
I know
know, man.
his mom was, but if he had that many followers, you think he'd be kind of like a rock star. He'd be like he's like kind of like a cult follower. Yeah, he you think he'd be slaying.
I mean, I think that's how like most cults like start. They're like, I'm gonna like crush some puss. You know what I mean? I'm gonna clean up. And it's always like, how it's like always weird too, where it's like all the followers, like you always get like the female followers and you get like the guy followers, but then like the female followers will like end up like bagging the cult leader. And
Yeah,
like
all the
everybody's
time.
okay with like all the guys are like cucks, right? They're just kind of like
They're like, "Oh, I
uh
guess my fucking wife or life partner is gonna have to be like fucking the head guy now." Like,
they're like,
they're just
yeah, they're like, what an honor. Oh my God.
yeah, yeah. They're like, "Oh my god, my soul has just elevated
You're
to give
right.
up my wife's pussy like that." Like, shit.
Yeah.
Come on,
Man, I
guys.
don't know, bro. Maybe we should start a cult.
That's a good idea. I always wanted to like start a religion because there's hella good tax benefits. Like if we just
Yes.
like we can like just get like an office space and like call it a church and
Hmm.
then like fuck it and not pay taxes or some shit like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. I think it's a what was it? Something Hubbard, the Scientology guy,
Elron.
L. Ron
Yeah,
Hubbard.
Elron.
Yeah, yeah. So he actually, there's like quotes of him kind of saying that uh, religion is really where like the money's at, and so he was like a science fiction writer before, right? And then he kind of like transitioned into creating that religion because he just knew it was going to make money, and it
Yeah.
did. So fuck, hey man,
Yeah, they're rich as fuck and they're all around the world and Tom
yeah.
Cruise is like their leader. Like
Tom Cruise can apparently move stuff with his mind. That's
just
what level he's
just not
at.
on yeah, just not on camera.
Yeah, exactly. It's Like, oh, maybe that's why he does all his own stunts, man. He's just fearless at this point.
Right? He's like, nothing can kill me.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not going to heaven or hell. I'm going to fucking, I don't know what they believe, science land.
Science Land.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what. I think it's a planet. I think it's a different planet. But
and they have different, yeah, they have a bunch of weird different shit. I learned
yeah,
a bunch because they had that South Park episode.
dude, South Park is
And
so good with that, man. Like,
yeah, the Mormon one was hella good. The South Park, that's the one where they killed off Chef because he became a
hmm
Scientologist in real life.
hmm yeah, that one, the Hawaii one, is really good.
Yeah, Hawaii one, yeah, is amazing. Like,
yeah, it's
oh,
spot
my
on.
Mahalo reward cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're local. We've been living here for 3 seasons. Like,
yeah. It's like, what's it? It's like your people flew here 6 months ago. Our people landed here on a cruise ship 4 years ago.
people really be like that too. Like
They do.
fucking all the
Yeah.
white people too in the North Shore of like Kauai and stuff like that. They're like, oh,
hmm
locals only kind of stuff. And they're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. It's like you don't get the Kamaaina if you can't say it, brother. Like,
Right?
yeah.
But
Which
Jesus,
I don't
yeah.
even think that's like a good deal though. Like most of the time it's like I only ask about like Kamaaina stuff if it's like a hotel or something.
Yeah, sometimes it's okay. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time it's like what, 5% off, like
Yeah.
$20, which is like a
Yeah.
dollar off.
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's ramen. Shut the fuck up.
Right?
Like,
It's like it's
yeah.
a local business too. They fucking probably need your money more than give you a discount right now.
You know what
If you,
else is
it's
funny
like,
though?
yeah, if
Wait, go
you're
ahead.
asking for Kamaaina, you're not Kamaaina.
True. Yeah. Yeah. But like you know what's funny is like I always get like shamed at like CVS or Longs because they're like, oh, do you have our rewards program? I'm like, no. Like I don't you guys to have like my information. And there was like, okay, well then nothing's gonna be on sale. I was like, I didn't buy anything on sale, so fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I purposely went and picked the items that were not on sale
yeah,
because,
yeah. Now give me my long receipt and let me get out of here.
right? Like you killed like 4 trees, like
Yeah,
of just like advertisements on the receipt, and you get like a
yeah,
dollar coupon. Yeah, I use my girlfriend's phone number, and I use my mom's phone number too, which is cool, because for long she always gets those $10 coupons or whatever like that, and I fucking
yeah,
use that shit.
yeah. Yeah, no, I do the same thing. I always kind of use somebody else's phone number just because yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
I don't want them to have my information. So,
I heard they use that information too. Like they'll be like, if you like say you get in a car accident or whatever like that, like they could go and be like, well, they bought a bunch of alcohol last week, like so.
oh shit, they use it like that?
Yeah,
Whoa.
in
Hmm.
like specific cases and shit. But I
Hmm.
don't know if they do it all the time. But I heard about that, and then I was paranoid after
Yeah.
that.
Damn. I didn't know they got down like that. That's crazy.
But yeah, well, drinking a little hair of the dog right now, fucking getting back in shape.
Yeah, what did
If
you switch back to?
a little Tito's and like the little like sparkling ice drinks, the
Mm.
zero sugar, with trying to be healthy while I'm drinking alcohol.
I mean, you see me, I've made some weird shit at my house because I just have like supplements and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I guess we'll put some essential aminos in here and you know,
Dude,
make a little cocktail out of that.
that one drink that you had the bartender make last night was fucking money.
Oh, it's
You could
fire,
tell
right?
he was like, I couldn't really tell if he was getting like annoyed or not because you were pretty knowledgeable about like the shit, and he was just kind of
Yeah,
like fuck.
yeah,
But who cares? We were drunk, and that's just his job is to make drinks.
yeah.
Um, it kind of sounds like an asshole now that I just said that, but be respectful to your bartenders, ladies and gentlemen. That was
Yeah,
probably the most offensive thing that I said in the
yeah.
history. But
That's fine. Of the show? I don't know, bro.
yeah, last week I said crucifixion was cool. That might be a little more offensive than being mean to a bartender.
Yeah,
Did
we
you
weren't
know
even.
the sign language thing for Jesus is you point at your hands, like you point at each hand, like like where he got crucified.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, it's like you point at the hands. I'm like, I thought you
Yeah.
would point at the wrist, but no, you like point at the hand, and that's Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard of hearing, a hearing impaired nephew,
Mhm.
and so the benefit of that is I get to learn a little bit of sign language.
Yeah, it's fun. I think sign language is cool, man. But here's the thing, though. It's like there's always people that like took sign language in like college because you know how you have to take like a foreign language or something like that.
Yeah.
And so some people choose sign language. But then what happens is like I've seen this a handful of times where it's like they'll see somebody at the bar who's hearing impaired and then they
Oh,
want to
I
use
try
their
to
sign
talk to
language
him.
and so they do it, but then now that person, the only person they can talk to at the bar is that person, right? And so
Yeah.
now they just like won't leave them alone. It's like that's like your best friend, you know what I mean? So
You just made a friend for life. Yeah, I heard
yeah.
the people too, like the deaf community. My
Mhm.
grandparents grew up next to like a deaf lady, and so she was deaf or whatever. But they're like hardcore. They're like, we don't want to be hearing and shit like that. They're like against, not against hearing people, but they would rather, like, if someone could fix their hearing, they would choose not to. Like
Whoa.
a good portion. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it'd probably be like a little bit too much. Like if you didn't, grow up with it, like it would just be overload,
Yeah.
right? Sensory overload.
I think I have all the senses to lose. I would probably lose my uh, hearing, I guess. Uh,
Yeah. What about smell? Well, because that would affect your taste too, right?
that would affect your taste. Maybe I would choose not to taste. You
Yeah.
wouldn't enjoy food, but like I would think you would still get the satisfaction of like not being hungry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you'd still get that. But like it's always, how like people are always like, "Oh my god, this cake is amazing." You're like, "Wouldn't know."
Yeah,
Like,
right, yeah.
yeah, so many of our experiences are food related though,
Well, yeah, there's a people get great pleasure out of the taste thing, and that's why
Mhm. Yeah.
a lot of people are fat.
Diabetes a killer.
Diabetes is a killer, and gout.
Yeah.
Like, I see people walking around in those ankles, and I'm just like, it makes me tired. Like, I'm just like, those ankles are fucking working
Yeah,
overtime.
yeah, it hurts, man. Yeah, it's like your joints just oof. Yeah, it's kind of like being like, like when you're hungover though, you kind of just feel fragile.
Yes.
Like you're kind of just like,
Hungover all the time.
yeah, you're just like, oh man, I really can't. Like everything is a chore. So I said this one to Cookie earlier, where I was kind of like, she's like, you weren't hungover this morning because like I basically like I got up, you know, dragging, but still got my shit together. I was like, all right, well, gonna go on this run. So I went on this like long run, and then I went and hung out with her parents. Went and grabbed some lunch, and then hair of the dog. I had like 3 beers just to kind of like feel normal. Um, but she was like, "You weren't hungover like this morning at all." I was like, "No, I was." But like the thing with it is like there's like levels to it, right? So what I was saying is like you can never be like, when you feel really, really good, you feel like you're like, "Man, I feel great." Like, I feel like 100% today, right? When you're hungover, it's like you're capped at like 70. Like
Yeah.
that's the highest you can get for the day. You know what I mean? Like you're never gonna feel great. You're always kind of just gonna feel meh. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm hungover at work, which doesn't happen very often, but we're human. Sometimes it happens.
yeah.
I'm pushing off all of the work that I could do that day till the next day.
Mm,
And usually I try to make a point, like if I'm at work, if I can do it right now, I'll just do it and fucking get it out of the way. But if I'm
yeah.
hungover, I'm like, no. I'm just gonna sit and make it look like I'm working, but really I'm just like fucking. I really want this day to be over so I could go home and sleep.
It's a survive. You know what I mean? You're just
Yeah,
trying to survive the day. You're like, okay, can I push this off tomorrow? I'll get it done, whatever. Um, But yeah, I don't know, man. Like today it worked out okay. Like probably the best way I could navigate a hangover. Because the thing with it is like when you're hungover, most of the time you don't navigate it well. Like you're kind of just like, oh, let me sleep, and you eat like shit, and you just don't move, and it's like it's all the stuff that's probably not helping you, right?
Yeah,
Like I don't even want coffee because it's like I think it's because you just want to sleep, right? So like, but yeah,
I
like I
agree.
got up this morning, had some water, forced myself to have some water even though I didn't want it. Had a cup of coffee. I was like, I didn't want to have the coffee, but I had the coffee. Forced myself to go on the run, and then like, but it was good because it's like just getting your body moving like that. It kind of like tells your body to be like, hey man, you're
We
not
got to
dead.
do this. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's like we got to kind of like kick this thing, right? So,
I
and
did
then
something similar, but yeah, I kind of
oh
chugged some water, then I threw it up, and then and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go back to sleep.
yeah.
Oops, hold on, dying. There is that was about like 7:30. Um, so chugged some water, puked, took a cold shower, slept till like 10:30, and then I was like,
Mhm,
oh, I'm fucking feeling pretty good. Chugged some Gatorade. I had this like energy drink that had like it was like a rain zero sugar thing that had
mhm,
like 300% B vitamin. So even if it was a placebo, got me feeling good. Forced
mhm.
myself to eat. Then went to the
Yep.
beach and jumped in the ocean, and the water was freezing. So I'm like, oh yes,
Yeah.
that helped me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, that's the main thing, right? Is like you go through the stages where it's like kind of like, okay, one, you're never going to kick it until you sleep. Like the sleep is the reset,
yeah,
right? So it's like literally that nap that you had is like you're going to feel like crap. You're going to feel like that until you sleep again, and then you can kind of like come out and get like another little,
yeah, I
step up.
leveled up. I leveled up my hangover once I took that nap.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the other one too is it's food, right? So it's like it's hard to get yourself to eat, but then like once you do eat, I mean, at first when you eat, you just like you're just tired as fuck, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I feel a little bit better.
yeah.
So
And I
I
was super hungry. I don't know if this is like with you too, but like when I'm like really hungry, like I don't feel like eating. Like I feel like the task of eating is like too much of a chore. And then
yeah.
what
Yeah, you're kind of just like you just don't want to do any the motivation's gone, right? Mo-
100%.
Motivation's out the window. But like I think, all right, so realistically, if you could, right, wake up, get some like water in your system, get some like B vitamins or whatever, get something in your system, get some caffeine, get moving, eat, and then take a nap, you'd probably be like good after that,
Yeah,
right?
I
In theory.
agree.
But doing all that shit is like it's funny because you just don't want to do it. Like,
0%. Yeah, motivation.
yeah.
Like I feel yeah, I just feel like I just want to stay. You're just wasting a day pretty much.
You are, yeah. And you're perfectly okay with it, right? You're kind of just like whatever, man. Like it's just
Because it's like
as
the same
long
thing like when you or what were you gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say once you're like sick and that survival mode get kicks in, like that just takes precedent over like everything.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I actually got sick like last week or week before. It was kind of funny because I was like, it's almost like being hungover, except for like I don't have like a lot of the other symptoms. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
Yeah.
I just feel like shit, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is actually much more manageable than a hangover. Like you're not miserable. You know how like sometimes you get like the anxiety and you get like a little bit of the depression just
Yeah.
like after drinking. It's like you didn't, yeah,
Yeah, I do.
yeah. I didn't get any of that, right? So I was like, oh, well, at least I don't have that. Like that's nice.
Because
Like
it's like not your fault when you're sick. It's like
right.
definitely your fault when you're hungover. It's like I am feeling like shit 100% because of the choices I made last night.
Yeah, well, what it really kind of comes down to as well is like it's like alcohol. I mean, it's a depressant, right? But it's also um, it taxes your sympathetic nervous system, right? So you're just so high on that sympathetic kind of side, and so what happens with that is like when you go too high on that side, you're gonna crash, right? So it's
Yeah.
completely normal, right? And then your body kind of has to like regulate. It's like you went really high, so now you got to come down really low, and then you kind of just end up like leveling out later. But
It's like the come down.
yeah.
The worst come down is cocaine, definitely, but
Oh,
alcohol for close second.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or ecstasy. I haven't done ecstasy. Oh, actually, I did ecstasy last summer.
Yeah.
But it was weird, and I snorted it, and that was a bad. Or it was Molly.
Oh,
So
Molly's a little different, but
Molly, yeah. So snorted some Molly. My whole face, my whole nose was burning, and I'm like, that was like fucking the worst decision ever.
yeah.
But we did test it for fentanyl because everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, I don't want to do it because we're on the East Coast and there's a lot of fentanyl going around and I'm not going
Yeah.
to kill myself to get high. But
Yeah.
we
So how
tested
do you
it with there's like little strips
uh
and you get a little bit of the powder and you
uh
mix it with the water and then you like put it in like a strip and I guess it's like it's kind of like a little COVID test. And then
huh.
if it's like red, then there's fentanyl in there.
That's so funny, dude, because it's like that's the world we live in. We're like, I really want to get high, but we should probably test this and make sure it's not gonna fuck us up and kill us.
Kill us, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Right. I want my drugs clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever, man. I don't know. It's yeah.
Yeah. But you got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. That's yeah. Like I swear to God, I do this. Do you miss like not drinking? Like you went like you did like the whole sober month, right? Do you kind of like
Yeah.
miss that where you're like, man, I just like miss not feeling like shit.
Yeah. Actually, we said me and Boba T, we're probably going to cut back a little bit. Probably only drink
Yeah.
like once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably just drink for the podcast and maybe like one night a week or
Yeah.
one night every other week. But
You know,
yeah, because
I tell
sorry.
myself that. I tell myself that every time, but it's just like, dude, when I like start drinking, yeah, like it just always seems like a good idea to have another one.
It's just so fun. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I can't have a couple drinks. Well,
No.
if I'm like out somewhere that is like a dinner or something, yeah, I can have a couple drinks. But, if partying with your friends and shit like that, you can't
Mhm.
just have a couple drinks and stop. You pretty much got to drink till you can't drink anymore.
Yeah,
But
I was telling you this like before the pod where I was kind of like I've been trying to look at everything like the drinks on like my hand. So you have like a one hand kind of night or a two
yeah,
hand kind of night or when you're down to your feet, right? So now your hands and feet and it's like okay, that's a fucking hard recovery, right? Like anything over two hands for me is like, okay, that's gonna be a freaking I lost a day, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah, I agree.
yeah, so
Luckily
I think
for, or I was going to say, luckily for everyone around us, both you and I, we're
yeah.
pretty happy drunks. Like there's some
Yeah.
people that are like punchy drunks, or there's like angry drunks, there's like sad drunks. We lucked out for the genes that we're just a couple of happy drunks.
Yeah,
We're lovable.
yeah,
We're lovable guys.
yeah,
Well, at
yeah.
least
But I
we think we are.
yeah. I've been trying but so like I've been trying to think about it that and then even in terms of like the weekend itself, right? So like for the weekend, it's like, okay, let's keep it on two hands for the weekend, right? So you can
Yeah,
have two drinks on like a Friday, and then you can have, whatever, six on a freaking Saturday, and then maybe two on a Sunday or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like ideal, but I think it kind of just helps me a little bit. So I'm not having like the worst thing I could do is go freaking two hands plus for 2 or 3 days in a row. And
and
then
if
it's
you
like,
go, yeah,
whoa. Like
yeah, and if you go hard on Friday, like your whole weekend is kind of fucked.
it can be. I can actually bounce back pretty good. So I can like if I go hard on a Friday and then I can like just take all Saturday off, then I'm usually back to moving and stuff and getting around on Sunday. I'm usually okay.
No, yeah, that's true.
But
You get one good night's sleep, and then
that's
kind
what
of
it is though. It's like but where it fucks me up. So this one happened to me last weekend where it's like I had a friend come over for like dinner And then I had been drinking earlier, and then I kept drinking for the show, and then I freaking had some drinks with them after, and that was on a Sunday. Which
Oh,
like,
that's tough.
and
Yeah.
then yeah, because then you have to go to work the next day. You're like, fuck, dude, it's so much harder to recover at work than if you just have that day off.
No, 100% agree. Like, just your brain is not working like it should be
Yeah, and it's weird too because I always say this. I was like, I never get hungover on vacation,
because
right?
you
I
keep
mean,
drinking. Hair of the
well,
dog,
you
baby.
keep yeah, you keep drinking, but it's also like you're doing stuff the whole time, right? You're like freaking like you're sleeping, like you're not waking up, 6 in the morning every time, right? You're kind of just like, whatever, man, I'm gonna sleep in, and then, but it's much more manageable, and you don't have to go to work, right? So it's like it's so much easier to do that. But
Yeah. Did you watch the Cat Williams special?
not yet.
Well, it kind of sucks.
Oh, really? I kind of actually thought that. I was like, you really only have so many good shows in the tank.
He didn't really reveal any of like the secrets like this that you wanted him to, and
Mm,
it just like there wasn't one time where I was like laughing out loud.
mm.
I was just like, this is really painful. It took me. I had to watch it in 3 sessions, and it was only like an hour and a half show or
Oh
hour
my god.
show.
Yeah, see, that's like not even worth it at that point. You're kind of just like, what am I doing? Like you're forcing yourself to like watch it, right? Somebody else
I
had a
do want
stand up like that.
to.
I don't know who it was.
Most of the stand-ups, I feel like there's a lot of them that are just like not funny.
Yeah, you just
Like
kind of miss.
they do have the roast of Tom Brady that I want to watch that I haven't seen
Oh,
yet.
that looks super good. And then it's also like they have some interesting people like roasting him,
Yeah.
right? Like people that aren't like always doing they have like a few of like the staples, but
There is one I read about the roast of Tom Brady, and there was one line that was hella funny, and it said if you get a chance to go 8 and 9 and all it costs you is your wife and kids, you got to do what you got to do. So,
I'm trying to see who's actually roasting him. Bill Belichick is in there. I just want to see like a list. Um,
I saw it on Netflix though. It said it was 3 hours, and I'm like, I don't know if that's right, but that's a fucking long ass
you know
roast.
what? Those roasts are usually really, really long. Oh,
Mhm.
here you go. So Burt Kreischer, Tom Segoya, Nikki Glazier, Andrew Schultz, Tony Hinchcliffe, Sam J, Randy Moss, Julian Edelman, Drew Bledsoe, Rob Gronkowski, and yeah. Oh, I think I saw Dana White was on there too.
Oh shit, that's a good mix.
Yeah, like it's cool, and like the people that are roasting too, like Burt Kreischer, Tom Segoya, like those guys don't usually do the roasts. Tony Hinchcliffe, I think he actually does do them. Andrew Schultz doesn't usually do them.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think Andrew Schultz has done any. Tony Hinchcliffe is like a regular.
Tony Hinchcliffe is and he's freaking man, he'll
He's a
get you,
savage. He's a savage.
dude. Did you see his show like when he came down here?
No.
Okay, yeah. So he came down here, and my buddy and I went. Mina Bird. So me and Mina basically went to his show, and it was
Was
so
it at
funny
the
because
Blue
like I
Note?
literally, yeah, and I was like, yo, dude, like let's get a table in the back, and I was like, I'm gonna sit in the back, and I was like, and I ain't saying shit, you know what I mean? Because he looks for like that one person and just fucking gives them hell
Murders
the
him.
entire
Yeah.
fucking show. Like it's brutal. Mm.
He's a savage. I
He is
like
a
I like
savage.
Tony Hinch. I like Tony Hinchcliffe. I
Yeah,
like his show too. The Kill Tony or whatever, where he brings up comedians.
yeah, that show's super good. But I actually just like the just little clips of it and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't
Well,
watch the
that's
full
all I
show.
watch. That's all I watch is YouTube clips of it. I don't watch the
Yeah,
whole show.
Right. Yeah, that's all you can do, and it's better that way, right? You just cut out all the fluff.
Yeah, you get to the good parts.
Yeah, a lot of those
Good.
guys, like, go up and they just fucking bomb too, right? Like, there's people that are just not good,
Yeah.
and then they sit there and talk after for freaking ever, so
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Well, that is what it is. I don't know, we've been at this thing for, like, a little over an
That's-
hour, yeah?
Yeah,
So
I'm ready to call it. A little technical difficulties today, but we got through it. Second half was pretty smooth. Happy Cinco de Mayo and
yes.
all that shit. You have any closing words?
No, man. Drink them up, man. Get your margs in while you can, and good luck on Monday.
Yep. Tickle your pinks and have your drinks. All
There you
right.
go.